Hello, everyone. I hope you all out there have had a happy new year so far. Tonight, Crisis on Infinite Earths has concluded. And yeah, if you have not seen Crisis on Infinite Earths, ranging from Batwoman, Supergirl, Arrow, or The Flash, or Legends of Tomorrow, I highly recommend checking those out before this review. Also, check out Black Lightning's episode. This will contain spoilers for the 5 episode crossover event. Overall, I have mixed feelings on Crisis, some shortcomings, some glorified cameos, which were awesome, by the way, and ways they handled Oliver Queen's exit. Despite that, I do love this crossover. It has some many great moments. Right out of the gate, the cons. The first episode I did not like that much. I liked the cameos, the build-up. You had Burt Ward there. You had Robert Wuhl as Alexander Knox. All the different type of cameos from the different DC shows. But overall, it felt very rushed. And Oliver's death, while it was crazy, I wish we saw it. I wish I felt something. It should have been a bigger event. It just felt lazy. It felt lazy, and it was just a half-assed way of having him get killed off. And you knew it was coming, but I should have felt more. He's had multiple deaths throughout this crossover event. They even bring his body back through the Lazarus pit. And for a while, I thought since they weren't going to reunite his soul, that was why he was crazy in the future Sarah saw, or one possible future. Overall, though, we introduced the concept of the Spectre, which, of course, in the DC comics, Hal Jordan, the Green Lantern, dies and comes back as that individual, the Spectre. So I thought that was kind of an interesting twist there, but with the Green Arrow. Episode 2, I really loved that, and it's no surprise, it wasn't done by regular Arrowverse writers. It was done by 2 writers who used to work on Smallville, and it was very much a Superman-centric episode. I love seeing Brandon Routh return as his character. He's very underrated in Superman Returns, and it was great seeing him come back, seeing the Superman 3 references, seeing Injustice Gods Among Us references. I love the fight him and Tyler Hoechlin have. You have John Cryer as Lex Luthor, and he's great. For being Lex's nephew in a film, he is surprisingly a great Lex Luthor. I love Tom Welling's cameo. You find out him and Lois have 2 daughters in the Smallville universe. I love Lex's kind of confrontation with him and how he tries to punch him when he's not looking, and Clark Kent just like grabs and he's like, I'm still stronger. I love that. Tom Welling was awesome, even if it was for a brief second time. I love seeing Tom Welling and Erica Durance back as Lois and Clark. Overall, the stakes were high with this crisis. Everything was going to be obliterated. This was pretty much the Arrowverse's endgame in many ways. Not as emotional as it should have been, though. But I love episode 3 after that, with them trying to resurrect Oliver, Constantine there, and you have that Lucifer cameo. I love that. The Birds of Prey. This did a really great job at paying homage to the previous DC Comics live-action shows. And that's one thing I love, is that it was a love letter and a tribute to not only Arrow and the Arrowverse, but this whole crossover is a tribute to everything live-action in DC Comics. And I love that. The Flash, the original Flash's exit, that flashback to Flash 1990, just really got to my heart there. That was emotional. And overall, the twist with the Anti-Monitor and them fighting, Brandon Routh Superman there, Lex trading places. I hated that they got rid of Brandon Routh Superman like that in the final battle, but at the same time, that is a Lex move. And overall, episode 4 was just crazy with the Speed Force. I was not expecting that Ezra Miller Flash scene. I was just like, whoa, the Flash in the movies there? And episode 5, it got crazy. Yeah, pretty much they fought in that giant filled area from like the crossover of the Power Rangers and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And like Power Rangers, a giant monster arrives. The villain turns to a giant monster. I'm expecting some Megazords, like really. Overall, though, I did like the whole Spectre outfit and Oliver like that. You have failed this universe. That was epic. But how many death scenes can you have? I don't know. I should have felt something more. But I do love the tribute at the end, though. The whole Society of Justice, the Justice Society, like the Halls of Justice, that was great. The Halls of Justice felt like the Super Friends. The tribute to Arrow with the suit and the flame was spectacular. Them merging it into one universe, or at least the Arrowverse in one universe. We find out that the other multiverses exist. So we have Doom Patrol, Teen Titans is there. Oh my God, Brandon Routh as Superman, like the Christopher Reeve scene there, was epic. That was just... Get Brandon Routh his own show, seriously. Seriously. But overall, despite its shortcomings with the budget and the fights, I felt like previous fights were more epic in previous crossovers, with like the whole team up. This was like them against computerized Dementors, and it didn't do it for me entirely. But I have to say, despite its shortcomings, this was a solid crossover, and I liked it better than last year's. And you got to appreciate their attempt at bringing this Crisis on Infinite Earths. A minor nitpick, even though I love their characters, Batwoman and Supergirl shouldn't have been the main focus. It should have been more on Flash and Arrow. That was the strongest piece of the Arrowverse and this crossover. And I almost forgot, we finally got to see Kevin Conroy as Batman. I loved him as his kind of Kingdom Come version of Batman. He's pretty much Ben Affleck. They made a commentary on Superman, except this Batman actually went through to killing Superman. You saw like Clark Kent's bloody glasses with like the hole and everything in there. It was nuts. And they pretty much killed Bruce Wayne. And yeah, I like that commentary, but at the same time, like, well, Ben Affleck didn't go that far with his. This Batman's truly lost, but it helped Batwoman on her journey and kind of look within herself for her own darkness, and vengeance. Overall, is a Batman gone wrong, and I'm kind of a little upset that they wasted Kevin Conroy's cameo for that version of Batman. I'm like, really? That's what you went with? You kind of ruined that. I don't know. Overall, though, I love all the cameos. It's just that when they were announced, you thought they were going to be more integral to the plot, and they weren't. You got a giant Beepo. That was crazy. I liked Mick signing books. That was great. And Brandon Ralph having fun as Adam and Superman. I give this a 3.5 out of 5 and a B. Crisis on Infinite Earths. I have my own opinions about it. It was still a fun crossover. And I have to say, if this is Arrow's end, I wanted a stronger end for Green Arrow himself and to be on the actual Arrow show. But with that ending in episode 5 of Crisis, part 5 in the Legends premiere, that was worth it. This is a world that Arrow built. Arrow started this Arrow versus shows. I never thought there'd be Flash, Supergirl, or any of these shows when Arrow first came on. And it's something that this show has created. Even though I like the earlier seasons of Arrow more than the later ones, it's kind of gotten a bit silly, less grounded. You got to appreciate what has happened here. And it's almost like the comic books of like one person starting something, starting a universe. And I love it for that. So yeah. Those are my feelings on Arrow and Crisis on Infinite Earths. Feel free to let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. What did you think of Crisis on Infinite Earths? What were your favorite moments? Let me know down in the comments below. You can check out these Arrow reviews on my channel. Feel free to subscribe. And yeah, stay tuned for next week. 2 more episodes of Arrow left, and it's the end. But I have to say, he became something else. He became someone else.